Hello everyone, my name is Winters and welcome back to another episode of Star Trek Online Do's and Don'ts. In this episode we are going to talk about the Omega minigame. Now the Omega minigame, you can find it available in a number of different areas in game. Most notably, it is available once a year during the anniversary, and you can farm Omega traces ultimately to get yourself the awesome Omega tech upgrades. It is also available here at the colony. That's where I am at the minute now. I'm at the Fleet Colony World Holding, and it is one of the mini games available to farm provisions which are needed for the fleet projects. It is also found in some story missions. When it's in the story missions, I think you have to get a score of like 100, and that's it, it's over. The mini game lasts like 50 seconds or a minute. I can't remember offhand. 50 seconds to a minute, anyway, is roughly what it lasts. And a perfect score is 2,700, I think. But anyway, let's get stuck into the do's and don'ts. So as you can see here, I've already picked up the mission, collect coral. And what we're going to do is we're going to kick off the mission here. And we're going to click on begin. Now, I'm going to start off with the don'ts, as I usually do. And the don'ts are, don't use the arrow keys on your keyboard like what I'm doing here, because it's too hard to get down when there's a big gap to pick up the particles. When they're close together, it is easy enough. But when there's a big gap, as you can see, this is just absolutely going to hell here. When there's a big gap, it's very hard to maintain. Crap, I'm hitting the wrong ones. See, I've never done this before, but this is a good example of just how not to do it and the reasons why. Instead, what you should do is you should use the mouse, because the mouse can be moved very, very quickly. As you can see there, I only got a score of 495. Now, I only got 50 provisions there. So you need, because we're at the colony world, I can play this again, and I can hopefully get a score that will reward me with 200 provisions. If I get a high enough score, I will get 200, because the max that you can get here per hour is 250 provisions. But this time, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the mouse. And what you need to do is you need to keep an eye on the yellow bar that's running up and down. And you need to try and keep your mouse as close to that as possible, because you have a tendency to move in the direction towards the particles. But using your mouse is much easier to catch these particles at the very end, as you can see here now. And believe it or not, this is actually really, really difficult, trying to talk coherently and play the minigame. So I'm going to buy myself a little insurance policy. I am probably not going to get a perfect score. I would be very surprised if I do, and I'd be very impressed with myself if I do. Yep, there goes the perfect score. Okay, so I got 2,200. I will get 200 provisions, and you can see now the luxury sorting unavailable. But we did successfully show you the reasons why not to use the arrow keys on your keyboard, and why it is so much better to use the mouse for this particular minigame. Because it's much easier with the mouse to move up and down with little movements of your wrist, rather than trying to double tap your arrow keys on your keyboard, trying to get up for a particle, because there's 3 bars or 3 levels that you have to get up to or down to, whatever the case may be. So yeah, the do's and don'ts are: do not use your arrow keys for the Omega minigame, and do use your mouse for the Omega minigame. It is much easier, and you will get a much better score and have much more success at the minigame, particularly when the anniversary comes around once a year. You will get better scores. The higher your score, the more traces you get, and ultimately you will be able to get more and more particles, which transform into tech upgrades. Anyway, we're going to leave it there for now. Thanks a million for watching, folks. I hope you all enjoyed this episode. If you did, please leave a like. That would help me out enormously. Your interactions in this series have just been absolutely fantastic, and it's really, really helping not only like encouraging me, but it's helping the channel grow. So I really do appreciate all of your support so much. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. And as always, please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. My name is Winters, and I'll catch you next time. So until then, take care.